Welcome. Thank you for joining us for another engaging Community Safety and Security Live forum here on the Serenity Resource Connector, brought to you in partnership with the Jamaica Constabulary Force Area 3 Police, consisting of Clarendon, Manchester, and St. Elizabeth. Of course, through the kind sponsorship of National Self-Serve Wholesale in Mapen, Clarendon. If you're new to this space, I am Winsome Sharia Whittle, the founder and executive director for Serenity Resource Connector, and your host for these engaging forum, informative, inspiring, ah, resourceful. That's how the program has been described so far. And we're going to be zoning in on the National Police Youth Club Camp 2024. So you learn so much more about the camp. And if you have not yet signed up for the camp, we'll hear if you're still able to sign up. And if not, you set it in your calendar for 2025, God's willing. So we are going to be blessed with the presence of our National Police Youth Club Movement Coordinator in the person of Sergeant Ricardo McAlpin, as well as our National Police Youth Club Movement President, Ricardo Fairman. Two Ricardos in one space. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. Sergeant McAlpin seemed to be having a little technical glitch there, but he'll be with us. All right. Fantastic. So we're going to get rolling. Let's learn a little background about the National Police Youth Club movement. Sergeant McAlpin, share with us a brief history of the movement and its mission.
Okay, good evening to our host. Good evening to all persons who are watching online. The Police Youth Club movement was started in 1954 in Sandy Bay, Hanover, by the late Corporal Everald Matthews and a social worker by the name of Basil Ferguson. And it was formed in an effort to bridge the gap between the police and the youth. At that time, we realized that there were a gap between the police and youth were displaying abnormal behaviors and all of that in the community in Hanover. So those two persons came together and formed what we now enjoyed as the Police Youth Club movement. Over the years, we have grown, we have strengthened our programs and activities in an effort to assist in the holistic development of our youth. Now we have strategically aligned the movement to basically measure our set targets and basically measure our activities as we go along to examine the result outcome. We now have four strategic goals that we use across the movement. One, increase advocacy, community outreach, and membership. Two, to increase the capacity of our youth. And three, to increase youth involvement in community development. And four, increase police youth clubs in school. Our monitoring and evaluation framework that we have developed along with the Ministry of National Security basically state that if police and youth are working together for community development, then we will have overall safety and security within our communities. So the movement has grown. We have improved on a number of our program and activities. We are five areas, five policing areas, Area 1 to 5, and we are island wide.
All right, hence national. I love that you have a monitoring and evaluation framework. So you're not just operating in silo, but you're actually measuring and improving as you go along. And I was so excited when I learned about the Police Youth Club in schools. Yes, that was great. All right, for those who just joined us, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, Serenity Resource Connector, thank you so much for joining in. If you are representing a police youth club or a community group, feel free to share in the comments as the discussion progresses. All right, so President Fairman, let's hear a little from you. Tell us about your own journey and involvement in the PYC.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Witter. Good night, everyone. My journey started off in the Sandy Bay Police Youth Club, where a friend invited me to be a part of such a wonderful organization. Since then, I've learned a lot of life skills that I'm actually using in my everyday life. These skills are leadership, um, public speaking, teamwork, just to name a few. Since then, I've matriculated into the organization. It has grown. I've grown over the years. To date, I'm now the national president for the movement. Um, so this just to show you that um, over time through the programs and the different activities that the movement has put in place would have impacted my life in a meaningful way. And as they would say, look at me now, representing the very said movement that I've started a couple years ago, such a wonderful program as this.
Right, look at you now, indeed. And I take it that's Sandy Bay in Hanover.
Hmm. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, because you have more than one Sandy Bay, you know.
Yeah, well, that's
As you
true.
mentioned that, let's welcome President Dominique. She was on Culture Corner last week,
Mhm.
president for the Freetown Police Youth Club. Welcome, Dominique. Thank you for tuning in. And for the other clubites that are on, it's great to have you. Share the link as we progress. And you would have heard from President Fairman how much being a part of the movement has impacted him and his growth as an individual. All right, so let's delve into some specifics of the upcoming camp. 8 whole days, Sunday to Sunday, of non-stop engagement. Sergeant McAlpin, what can participants expect from this year's camp?
Well, the participants can expect a week of empowerment, a week of capacity development, holistic engagement, as this camp offer activities that look at the holistic development of our youth, from the spiritual to the emotional, psychological, educational, occupational, all the different alleys. We have activities that are embedded in the program that they will engage in throughout the week, and they will leave. A number of our campers will leave with art skills training and certification in one of, well, they will actually leave with two certification, one in customer service and a physical skill, whether tiling, masonry, electrical connection, housekeeping, and one more skill area. But trust me, they will leave empowered and ready to basically take on the challenges in the working world, or to become an entrepreneur in the skill area that they have learned and certified in. So they will also have fun and more fun. Activities are planned. The team is ready to basically implement and execute all the activities that are there for them.
All right. And that sounds like Heart NSTA Trust is on board to do certification.
Yes, they are on board. They will
Fantastic.
be.
Yes. So you're equipping them to pay their bills because skills pays the bill. Pay the
Yes,
bill. So
definitely. We want them to be able to compete in this global community. Because
Yes.
gone are the days when only a Jamaican could apply for a Jamaican job. You know, a
Yes.
man from anywhere in the world can apply for a job in Jamaica and get it. Likewise, a Jamaican can apply once they are qualified for a job in another country and acquire that job. So we want our youth to be competitive in the global community that they are living in.
Love it. Absolutely amazing. And if you're on and you're not a part of this, or the young people in your circle are not involved, come on. You need to get on board. All right. Mark, blessed evening to you too. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So we're talking about Police Youth Club, and sometimes we don't make the connection. So share with us how it is that the camp will incorporate community safety and security in its activities and teachings. Sarge.
Well, the activities in the implementation of all activities, campers will be notified of the importance of safety and security. Also, through our presentations, our public education campaign about being aware of safety and security, being alert within the environment. You working with the police, you being a part of the police movement, the police youth club movement. You will be engaged in activities that will show you the importance of being safe and secure, and also playing a role in ensuring that your community is also safe and secure. And as one of our strategic objectives state, youth involvement in community development also plays a role in empowering our youngsters to become advocates for safety and security.
That is amazing. And before we came on, I was talking to President Fairman about that in terms of the pivotal role that the PYC can play in terms of bridging that gap between police and community, as was the original intent. And as we mentioned that, Amity Hall Police Youth Club is in the virtual house. Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank you
Amity
so
all.
much for representing. All right. So we would have heard from Sarge about the activities and the excitement that's going to take place. But President Fairman, from your experience with the camp, what are some of the key benefits for youth who attend these camps?
All right, so let me first make mention about our signature program with the Heart NSTA Trust. Our members who attend camp will leave with a certificate from one of the skills area that Sergeant McAlpin would have made mention earlier: tiling, customer service, housekeeping, etc. um, Other activities such as sporting activities. There's a mini or Mr. PYC, Mr. and Mrs. PYC pageant that members will have the opportunity to take part in, as well as they will learn how to be team players, because they will have to work in a group, and nobody wants their groups to lose points. So everyone will have the opportunity to work together, and that will develop their life skills going forward in society.
Definitely. Yes, Freetown. I yes, we acknowledged you earlier. You're here. All right. And we have Asheen Smith, Sarge. I see you always love your drive and passion. My president, Mr. Fairman, you are a great leader. I'm proud. I'm a proud PYC member from Christiana. So Christiana is here as well. So that's
Yes,
Freetown, Clarendon, Christiana, and Amity Hall. That's registered their presence on the platform. For the others that are here, welcome again. All right. So President Fairman, still with you.
definitely.
Share with us any success stories or testimonials from past camp
Yes.
attendees that illustrate the positive impact of the camp.
All right, and
You have a lot, but give us the top two or three.
no problem. And I'm still on the heart Trust NTA program. I've seen members that have impacted from camp that have shared personally with me that since they have left camp, they would have gained employment with the various skills area that they would have participated in. A particular young man would have shared with me that before attending camp, he had a low self-esteem issue, and being a part of the camp, he would have learned some skills that would have allowed him to develop a stronger self-esteem. And today, I would say he's much better in his everyday life. So just to list two.
All right. And solid too. All
Yes,
right. And if time allows, you can share some more later on.
no problem.
Or okay. So what are some ways the youth club has grown or evolved in recent years to better serve the community? President Fairman.
Could you repeat that question for me one more time, please?
What are some ways that the PYC has evolved in
Mhm.
recent years to
Mhm.
better serve the community?
All right, definitely. Thank you for that question. All right, so the PYC over the years have put a lot of programs in place. These programs include or quiz competition or sporting activities, um, or national Bible bowl competition. We have also partnered with various community-led organizations, and we would have partnered with them to put other programs in place for the greater development of our communities and by extension our youth.
All right, you have quite a bit going on there, and it's always great to see the highlights on the JCF page, these
Definitely.
quiz competitions and
Can,
all
can
that.
I,
Yes,
may
go
I
ahead
weigh
and share.
in on that to just to add to the
Certainly.
president feedback?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have to highlight this program, Safe and Sound Jamaica Project,
Yes.
wherein the movement garnered some funding from UNICEF, and they implemented a program that bridged the communication barrier between the deaf community and the police. There is always an issue when deaf persons wanting to make report at the police station across Jamaica. And half a 3% deaf persons from the deaf community could make report to the police, and statement could be captured um, because of the Safe and Sound project, where they use an interpreter to basically facilitate the process of giving report. And also that led from it also was the legal ramification of taking statements from an intermediary person to be admissible in court. And we utilize the information with the police from CIB, who found it very beneficial. And I could not be here and not mention the Safe and Sound project. There are a number of different police youth club activities, as the president mentioned. He never name out everything, because there are too many. But the Meals and Wheels project in St. Catherine South, wherein the police youth club movement in St. Catherine South goes out and they feed homeless persons. And there are a myriad of these projects across
Project.
the police
Yes.
youth club movement island wide. There are a lot of Labor Day projects that the
Yes.
movement involved in the cleaning of basic school, painting of golden age home, a myriad visiting children home and national president, that children home in Hanover,
Yes.
um, West Haven.
West
West
Haven.
Haven, we visited them. At, yeah, I think we visited them in August, thereabout, or September, and they made a request for us to treat them for the Christmas. We went back and we gave them gift for the Christmas. We, party with them, have fun with them, and these projects are so heartwarming and welcoming by many communities across Jamaica. The Police Youth Club movement, they are out there um, during the Labor Day projects. A number of different gully cleaning, bleach beach cleanup in Kingston East, in Alligator Pan in Manchester, just to name a few.
Wow.
Uh,
Talk about impacting the community. Now, that's what we're talking about, and that's what our young people have an opportunity to be a part of because, as Sarge said, it gives you a heartwarming feeling. It's that sense of civic pride that you're a part of something good that's happening in your community. And I know that from time to time you have clubs going out on excursion to partner with other
definitely,
clubs across the
definitely.
island. So that's another way for you to build your network and to learn new parts of the island. So it's amazing. Welcome, Asha Gay. Good night. Thank you for joining us. Let us know which club, if you're with a club, that you're joining us from. Love that. And I'm glad you mentioned that one because I totally forgot about it. It was
I did
mentioned
as well.
before in terms of bridging the gap with the deaf community, which is very important. Thank you, Sarge, for catching that one. All right. So, how can parents and guardians encourage their children to join the PYC and to participate in the camp?
All right.
President, and then if Sarge
Yes.
add something, go ahead.
All right. So, how can parents or guardian encourage their younger children to join the camp? I must mention that our age group starts from 7 years to 29. So they're not too young to be a part of the movement. And even if you're over 29 and you still want to be a part of the movement, we will still have you as members of the organizations. What we encourage parents or guardians to do is visit one of the nearest police stations, and you can inquire about the Police Youth Club. We also have our various social media sites that you can log on to get information, such as Instagram, NPY NPYCM at Instagram, Facebook, and also TikTok. So once you type in the National Police Youth Club movement, you will see all the information relating to how a member can join the Police Youth Club. Once they have come to 3 consecutive meetings, automatically they will become a member. So once again, they can visit the nearest police station, and ask the police officers about the police youth club, and then they will be able to get some information as it relates to how they can join the police youth club.
All right. All right. So Sarge should be back on in a little while. Here he
Yes.
comes. Technology. All right, Sarge, you're back just in time. How how does the PYC and the camp contribute to overall community safety and security? I know you would have mentioned some things before, but overall, how does the movement and the camp contribute?
All right. So, as we mentioned before, the activities that are implemented at the camp will keep our participants empowered. They will learn core skills like patience, courage, and a number of core skills that will help them to become better individuals. Living an empowered and also a person who are more aware will be like role models within their community, and they will be ambassador for peace, development, and for positivity. So being a part of the police youth club, you develop core competencies, you can get a skill, You may get a job because you have persons who organization who call the police youth club movement, call the JCF and ask for youths to get employment in certain sectors. So being a part of the police youth club movement, with all these opportunities, when you need a recommendation from a superintendent or an inspector, many youth who are not a part of the police youth club movement does not know a inspector, or an inspector don't know them personally because they are not engaged with the police, if probably they are not in conflict with the law. So being a part of the police youth club movement, you will get an opportunity to interact and engage with the police in a positive manner, which will help to enhance you whenever you need certain recommendations and certain opportunities from the police force. So being a part of the camp and the police youth club movement, you will now be persons who will be advocate for change, and that will impact the community in a positive way.
Indeed. And you are reiterating something that was shared from the St. Elizabeth Division. One of the presidents from down there was on some months ago and shared just that in terms of the whole ability to get a recommendation from the police just by being a part of the club. The
Yes.
police knows you and able to write a recommendation that will help you in other aspects of your life. All right, Ricardo, Asha Gale is seeking assistance for the startup of the Longville Park PYC. All right,
Definitely.
Shagay. All right, so take note of that so we can get the club strengthened. And kudos to the team on resuscitating so many of the PYCs that became dormant during COVID. I know a lot of work has gone into that, and I want to commend the efforts to get that back up and running. All right, so we are still on youth empowerment. President Fairman, in what ways, specific ways, does the PYC help empower youth to take active roles in their communities? Because it's not just about going out there for the excitement,
Yes.
all of that, right? But we have to be responsible citizens, right?
Definitely. Um, and I would be so like a scratch record by repeating some of the stuff that I'm saying. But the PYC allows our young people, the programs that are put in place um, are, as I mentioned earlier, are life skills programs that will allow our young persons to matriculate in society. These programs are or national spelling bee competition, as I mentioned earlier, where persons have the opportunity to compete and against each other. And you know, at the end of the day, one team will come out on top. But we encourage them that though a team may come on top, we are still one family. We have other programs such as team building training. We do proposal writing seminars. We do different sessions, and I must mention or sessions that would have the PYC Spotlight Initiative, where we invite various presenters to come and present on various topics, um, where our young persons can learn from and utilize these topics and these training to assist them to be better men and women in society. Other programs are we other programs are includes us, um as I said, the I'm sorry, let me just my sorry.
That's all right. Take a sip.
Sorry. Yes. And Sarge can back me up for a moment. There are other programs that are in place that allows our young persons to be resourceful. And these are, as I would have mentioned, or the different training sessions that our young persons would have benefit from. The heart trust training is one of those that would would allow them to be better man and woman in society. And not just at a national level, at our local clubs. Our local clubs would put programs in place um, to allow our young persons to be better men and women. And once you're part of a PYC, you will have the opportunity to become um, leaders, the president, the secretaries, the PROs. And to me, being a part of an executive is like you are, if you use these lessons, it will allow you to be executives for your workspace and executives at school. So those are some of the resources that will allow our young person to be better off in society.
Fantastic. Well said. All right. And we have Danielle saying that she's proud to see so many young people engaged and making positive choices through our Police Youth Club programs.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for that observation. And that's what we love to see. All right. Let's take it over to Camp. Tell us about the registration process. If someone is on and they say, no, man, my child, my neighbor can't afford to miss this, they're not yet registered, is it too late? Can they still come on board to be a part of Camp 2024? Sergeant McAlpin.
Well, the registration process for camp, um, PYC summer camp is normally geared towards persons who are members of the Police Youth Club movement already. However, if we have space, we don't believe in leaving any youth behind. So if someone is listening tonight, they can reach out to us. And if we have space, we will definitely try our best to accommodate them because we are looking at empowerment of our youth. And as I mentioned earlier, we want to know that you are the willingness and the desire to transform lives. Yes, we want to know that we are transforming lives and moving persons from being probably feeling low self-esteem, feeling like there's no hope for him, into a platform or into a layer where he now sees hope, he now believe in himself, and he can fit into society. So they can reach out to us, and we will try our best to accommodate that individual.
All right. So this forum is taking place on the Serenity Resource Connector. So of course we have to talk about resources. So are there any resources or support systems in place for families who might need assistance to allow their children to attend the camp?
Well, the support system is there. We get our support from the Jamaica Constabulary Force through the provision of funding to offset costs for the resources that are required for the camp.
Okay.
Also, our trust NSTA, they play their role in providing materials and resources for the training, for the skills training and certification. We the fee for the camp is just $1,500, but a number of youngsters who cannot pay the fee, and I don't want to say this now, Mrs. Witter, and when you check it now, we end up with everybody not have any fee, but we won't turn back an individual for not having the fee, because the fee is just to offset some little miscellaneous on the camp, because the camp is already covered and catered for through the JCF and our partner, Archers NSTA, in providing the materials. So we will not turn back an individual. We want to know that you have the willingness and the desire to want to participate in something, and we will not have the heart to turn you back. All right. So the only thing is required is the willingness and the desire to want to become someone.
Definitely.
Fantastic. And I mean, those two are key in getting not just to the camp, but opening doors of opportunities otherwise.
Yes.
All
Definitely.
right. All right, Sir Mac, thank you for joining us, or SDC Parish Manager for Clarendon, commending the Freetown Police Youth Club for supporting the Freetown Citizens Association in the planning and implementation of Freetown Week. That was last week, the Emancipation Independence Week. Both groups worked together and executed a great week.
Ca-
And just in case you missed that, your president was on Culture Corner last week. So you can check out the Culture Corner playlist on YouTube or hop on over to serenityresourceconnector.com to get the highlights from the blog. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe so you can get the updates, a detailed recap of these weekly discussions straight to your inbox so you don't miss out on any of the resources. There's a whole lot there for young people.
Yes.
Quarterly, we have discussion with our National Parish Youth Council members, and they're coming on this month. This is another quarter to share some resources for back to school preparation, so you don't want to miss that. All right. So as we speak about coming on next week, let's look to the future. What are the future plans for the National Police Youth Club movement and its camp beyond 2024? Sarge? Because each year it seems to get bigger and better.
Uh,
What can we expect going forward? You're muted.
Okay, was that question for me? Had some
Yes.
technical difficulty. Could you repeat the
Oh,
question, please?
understand. We're looking to the future now. What are some of the future plans for the National Police Youth Club movement and the camp beyond 2024? Anything new on the horizon?
Well, for the future, we want to get our members doing robotics and
Mm,
some things that will be useful in the year 2030 and beyond. So we want them to be able to engage in robotics, learning how to be competitive with our global community. Also, we want to ensure that we look more at rights, also responsibilities, because we realize that when persons are not keen on taking responsibility for their actions, then you oftentimes find them going down on a road of nothingness, because once you are not um, willing to take responsibility for your action, then we realize that you have a weaker mind, you are not resilient to the gang culture. Person can easily sway you as an individual. We want to also strengthen our leadership capacity of our youth, because when we have more leaders, then you will have persons making more better decision, also thinking more critically. These are the activities that we want to ensure that we strengthen so that we can have more resilient individuals. We want to also strengthen the conflict resolution capabilities of our youngsters, having them being able to work out their conflict in a more amicable way rather than fighting it out. So we are looking at the holistic development, looking to get them prepared to function in the future, to be creative, to be innovative, so that we can become creators and innovators and compete on a global market. I had a friend who came back from Russia, and he said to me that, Mr. McAlpin, the youth them in Russia at 18 years old, some of them are billionaires because they are innovators. They make the new phones. They make certain computer. They develop certain technological device that is being used, being manufactured by their government, their manufacturing companies, and they get paid for the patent, and they are billionaires and millionaires. So that is where, as a coordinator, I would want to basically push the movement, push the youths to be able to become innovators and creators of products and devices that can be useful in the global community.
Wow, I love that. Talk about developing life skills and a way to utilize their passion, their talent to actually earn money, because there are viable opportunities there for making money and becoming millionaires and billionaires without going down the slippery slope. I pray that that comes to fruition, Sergeant McAlpin. I hear your passion, and we want to ensure that we work together to make that happen. All right. So, President Fairman,
Yes, ma'am.
we have Mr. Mackenzie here that
Yes.
drives community development, and there are other community leaders, educators, and justices of the peace who tune in, business um, representatives that tune into this program from time to time, or they catch the blog. How can they get involved outside of the camp as volunteers or supporters for the PYCs across the island?
Definitely. Again, they can visit any of the police stations right across the country and ask about the Police Youth Club. And the police officers that is at the desk will share the information on how they can um, contribute to the development of the PYC or even being a part of the PYC movement. They can also reach out to us directly by email at npycm at jcf.gov.jm, and they can reach out to us by our social media sites, National Police Youth Club Movement, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as TikTok. They can also make direct contacts, and I can share my telephone number as well. It's 1876 598 5495, and we will provide you with the necessary information that you need. Mr. McAlpin will also share the contact details of the Community Safety and Security Branch that persons can call and get some information on how they can contribute to the development of the PYC movement.
All right, go right ahead, Sergeant McAlpin.
Listen, Freeman, you didn't tell him your number. You want to mention of it, so
All
you can
right,
just tell them your number,
sure.
please, and
So
then
the telephone number is 876 598 5495. That's 876 598 5495. And it's
All
Ricardo Fearman.
all right.
okay.
Yes.
All right. So you can reach us at the Community Safety and Security Branch via email. The unit email is cssb unit at jcf.gov.jm. So repeat, cssb unit at jcf.gov.jm. And my contact is 283-5426. And you know, if I add the 876 at the front, yeah, so that's it. Easy way of communication. And
Yes.
if any necessary information need to share from there, we will share that. I also have two island assistant coordinator that works at our unit, and they are very efficient in providing information and support if required.
Fantastic. All right. And don't worry if you missed those numbers, email addresses. Hop on over to serenityresourceconnector.com and look out for the blog. We will capture them there in our resource section. All right. So I'm sure you would have a lot of questions, concerns from parents or youth about the camp. That what are some of those that you'd like to address today? Some of those common questions or concerns from parents, youth about camp each year. Sergeant McAlpin, you want to start with our top? two that you questions or concerns that you usually get?
Well, parents might be worried about the safety and security of their children.
Mm.
I can assure them that the safety and security of their children are their of their children is paramount. From the commissioner down to my ACP in charge of the community safety and security branch, is a part of the safety and security, and they ensure the safety and security on the camp. So we have the local police who will be satelliting the venue. We have police officers, over 40 or more police officers will be working on the compound of the camp, who will be there residential with their children, both male and female. We have our camp mother or camp father who will be looking at their well-being on the camp. So they will have a mother and a father for the week. We also have our medical services branch who will be sending nurses to reside on the compound for the week to ensure if there are any medical needs, they can take care of that. The local hospital in Maypen is aware of the camp. The chief medical officer is aware. We have her contact and will make contact in case there's any necessary um situation. So the safety and security of the children, the participants, is paramount, and we take that very serious, and we put things in place to mitigate against any incidents that can be guarded against or
Oh, okay. And
prevented.
right, what's the location of this year's camp? We're in Maypen.
Central High School in Maypen.
All right, great. Any other common question, concerns coming to you, President Fairman?
Well, Sergeant McAlpin would have answered. The main question would have been about the safety
Okay.
of our campers, and Mr. McAlpin would have answered that already.
All right.
Don't worry, parents. Your students, your children are in good hands.
All right. Because they're being protected by our very capable community and safety officers. All right. All right. We are winding down. What final message or call to action would you like to leave with our viewers regarding the National Police Youth Club movement and the upcoming camp? So, President Fairman, we're going to start with you, and then Sergeant McAlpin, our coordinator, will
No
round out.
problem. No problem, Mrs. Witter. I must say that, as our motto says, we are helping to build a better Jamaica. And in helping to build a better Jamaica, it involves everyone. I encourage our young persons who are home and are not engaged in any form of social activity to join the police youth club movement. I can testify that you will not regret being a part of. It will help you to build your life skills going forward. So I encourage you to join a police youth club today, and come and see what is in store for you. So that's my final thoughts.
All right, Sarge.
Well, I join the same sentiment of the president, imploring every youth to become a part of the police youth club movement, as it's an institution that give experience to youngsters in different leadership capacities and roles and responsibilities. The the engagement that you will have in the police youth club movement will only help you to become better a better individual in the society. It will give you an edge in the leadership at school. It will give you an edge in the leadership at work as a youngster, because you being a secretary in the movement and learning how to take minutes and write agenda for a meeting. A lot of youngsters are not equipped with these skills to basically utilize when they are given a job opportunity. So if you are part of the police youth club movement, you will get certain skills and opportunities that help to enhance your capacity. So I'd implore any parents now to get their child involved in the police youth club movement. There are many benefits to derive from being a part of the police youth club movement.
All right.
We
And
have
just
seen we have
sorry, go ahead.
seen police youth club members flying to Dubai,
Definitely.
Morocco in Africa, all over the world. We have a regional police youth club movement where we have interaction with police youth club from St. Lucia, Trinidad, Cayman, a number of different Caribbean islands within the region.
And I must
We
add
have
to,
go ahead.
no, and I was gonna say I must add to what Mr. McAlpin would have shared, that Sergeant McAlpin would have shared, that we, the police youth club movement in Jamaica, would have set the tone for those other
Yes,
police youth clubs within the other regions. So
yes.
we are not just a PYC movement locally, but we are
Mm.
reaching the lives of others internationally.
Yes, because
So
they take some of our activities and implement it within their region. So as Mr. Freeman mentioned, we are impacting lives right across the globe. We see persons reaching out to us in different Caribbean islands, wanting us to come and help them to set up their police youth club movement within their country. There's a lot of benefits to derive from being a part of the police youth club movement. And I remember when I was a youngster, being a part of the police youth club, Mona Police Youth Club. And I was astonished when I see the president call meeting to order, and when them a try confirm the minutes, them a move a motion to and all of that, and person a second it and person a first and all of that. I was basically taken aback to say, wow, I wish I could be up there executing like that, and I know that any youth get these opportunity and get the practicing ground to exercise their leadership skills, to learn and to grow, because you get the opportunity to learn, to make mistake, be corrected by the police officers or more experienced police youth club members, in growing yourself as a leader. So you will feel empowered being a part of the movement. I have seen a number of influential persons in our society who have matriculated through the police youth club movement. We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have firefighters, we have persons who even move from the police youth club movement to becoming member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have some joining the army. We have some becoming big ranking officers in the JCF. So all of these benefits, you would want your child to be a part of it, right? I'm asking you, Miss Witter, would you want
Oh
your child to be a
yes.
part of a movement such as this?
Oh yes.
So
I
I
was gonna
need not say
answer it for
anything
my
else.
viewers as well.
Need not say
Uh,
anything else.
and
Yes.
and,
And
and
being a part of a police youth club movement, it has something psychological to do with child also. Because if you are a law abiding person, you will not have an issue with the police force. But because I just reflecting on some of the youth who never wanted to come to a police youth club movement in my community when I was growing up in Augustown, some of those youth become criminal. They became criminals. And they didn't want to be a part of the police youth club movement because they didn't want to learn rights, responsibilities, and to be accountable and to become sociable members. So as a parent, if you see your child trying to avoid the police, get them engaged with the police. Get them engaged with the police youth club movement because they can only learn and benefit from such an interaction and engagement. The police will only tell them rights, responsibilities, laws, and now that will make them become empowered. Because a lot of youths who commit crime, sometimes they commit an offense not knowing that it was actually an offense.
That's
You
true.
understand? So you
Right.
being a part of the police youth club movement, you learn about some offenses that could have prevented once you know. But if you don't know, sometimes you get carried away, and then when you commit the offense now, you you become in conflict with the law, and it affects your own mobility in life because you get a police record, and that remains on your record for 7 years. You cannot do anything important or transformational in your life just by one mistake. So being a part of the police youth club movement, you can be educated on the laws that govern Jamaica. Thank you.
And
Thank
before I
you. Go
know
ahead.
you're wrapping up, Mrs. Witter, I just want to say thank you to all the police youth clubs out there in all the respective divisions. Thank you for always lifting the police youth club banner high. Thank you for your support, and we are moving to greater things, and the PYC movement will only get bigger. So I just want to say thank you, and
All
thank you,
right.
Mrs. Witter.
And thank you, President Ricardo Fairman, National Police Youth Club Movement President, and Sergeant Ricardo McAlpin, our National Police Youth Club Coordinator, for sharing with us passion. You can hear it, and you can hear the benefits coming out of what it is that the National Police Youth Club Movement has to offer young people. And just to remind you, as young as age 7 up to 29, and the camp is 8 days, Sunday to Sunday, August 11 to 18 at Central High School in Maypen, Clarendon. And don't worry, the children will be fully protected while they are there. And so for those parents who want to go out and go dating or something, this is a week to do that while the children are safely protected at camp. And thank you again. And let me thank our Area 3 police for always making these forums possible by helping us to coordinate with these awesome people from across the island to come in and share about the different programs and how we can help to be a part of this safe environment that we want to see in our immediate communities, in our parishes, and by extension, Jamaica and the world. Thank you to National Self-Serve Wholesale for always supporting this forum. Thank you so much. And be sure to go out and support them so that they can continue to support so we can keep this live forum alive. And for others who want to come on board, reach out, serenityresourceconnector.com. My number 876-871-8960 to be a part of supporting this awesome initiative. As I've been hearing from guests as well as viewers, that it's an informative space, and our those in the diaspora love what it is that we do here in terms of sharing how it is that we are making a difference in Jamaica, land we love. All right, thank you again. Have a fantastic rest of the night, and be sure to tune in next week. It's Community Corner, so you want to come on over and see what we have to discuss there. Have a blessed rest of the night.